What's up, folks? Hope y'all can hear me properly. I don't have my headphones in, so I'm trying to rock with my computer's sound. Hope y'all gonna hear me properly. So anyway, man, Deontay Wilder knows how to keep himself in the news. This man is, um, as much as people say he's not intelligent, and I think he's made some very unintelligent moves in his career and said some very unintelligent things. This man knows how to keep himself in the media. He was on the Last Stand podcast. I guess it would be like a PBC podcast or whatever, with Brian Custer, and he was on talking about, amongst many things. And I'm using snippets from the Michael Benson, but the whole podcast is up if you want to listen to it. I did listen to it, but of course, the most interesting things that he said, "Hey, Charles, the Sporting Advantage, peace, peace." Of course, the most interesting things Deontay Wilder said was that if he can't get Tyson Fury, he wants Dillian White. He says Dillian White is obsessed with him. It's like they went through a bad a bad breakup, and he wants Dillian White. Now, this is absolutely amazing, right? Because Deontay Wilder has had every opportunity to fight Dillian White. Every opportunity. This is a man who sent Dillian White a text to say he's not gonna fight him for 2 years. This is a man who, when Dillian White was going to fight Dominic Brazil, Dillian White and Dominic Brazil were about to fight to see who would be the mandatory. And the WBC and Deontay Wilder scrapped that fight and elevated Brazil to the mandatory. And Deontay Wilder picked Dominic Brazil, even though Dominic Brazil was number 4 in the WBC and Dillian White was number 1. He has had every opportunity to fight Dillian White, every opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And I just find it amazing. It's like Deontay Wilder, I don't understand. Why is he acting like as if Dillian White is this new fighter, as if people haven't, are not aware that him and Dillian White, been going through this saga for years now. He could have picked Dillian White at any time. At any time. Any fight Dillian White had in that time could have been cancelled for Deontay Wilder. Any fight he had. And Deontay Wilder consistently chose other people and not Dillian White. I don't believe Deontay Wilder. Matter of fact, he could pick Dillian White right now. Yep. He could fight Dillian White right now. If he said he wants to fight White right now, I am sure Eddie Hearn would cancel that Povetkin fight, or Dillian White would cancel the Povetkin fight to fight Deontay Wilder. I am sure. Because Dillian White, if he fights Deontay Wilder, I mean, pretty much he's just showing, for whatever championship belt shot. And that's facts. I don't think Deontay Wilder wants to fight Dillian White. I don't believe him. I think he's just running his mouth as usual. He was on the same podcast talking about how, again, back on the same shit. Hold on. Sporting, I'm telling you, Eddie Hearn would fly to America, stay in quarantine to get them papers signed. What? Why is he talking like, if I can't get Tyson Fury, I want Dillian White? What's up with this dude? That Dillian White fight could happen immediately. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury is trying to fight Anthony Joshua. Right? Deontay, you right now are on the back burner. Whether your fans want to say Tyson Fury is ducking you or any dumb shit, that's cool. But the truth is, they're trying to fight Anthony Joshua. They're not trying to fight you. So, in my opinion, you really should make the Dillian White fight. A few people have said, even I have said before, right, that you should fight Dillian White. I think Tyson Fury should fight Dillian White rather than Ajit Kabayel. which they said they can't find the money for. It's foolishness. If you can't get Tyson Fury, you should fight White. Tyson Fury, what's up, Lisa Bales? How you doing, Queen? How you doing, Ayaba? Everything good? Tyson Fury trying to fight Ajit Kabayel, and I think he should fight Dillian White or you. But he seemed to be stuck and he's going to fight somebody else and not you. Whether or not the money is there or whatever. So I think you should fight Dillian White. Or Tyson Fury should fight Dillian White. Again, I say, if Dillian White is offered any one of those fights, I'm quite sure they will cancel the Povetkin fight because the Povetkin fight was a rematch clause. If Dillian White pulls out, he's in no way breaking anything. What's that? White laughing at Wilder got to him. Oh, you mean on the Sky interview? So you think Wilder is upset about Dillian White laughing? Okay, whatever. So then knock Dillian White out. Because I mean, Tyson Fury pushed back the Ajit Kabayel fight, a fight that who cares? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Who cares? All right. And I think, I mean, Tyson Fury should have fought Dillian White or Deontay Wilder. Like, I prefer to see a Deontay Wilder fight rather than an Ajit Kabayel fight. Why are you fighting Ajit Kabayel? If Deontay was available to fight Deontay Wilder. If you have to fight him anyway, fight him. If you're picking people, I prefer Tyson Fury picks Deontay Wilder or picks Dillian White. That's my advantage. I mean, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. So I'm not sure why Deontay Wilder is saying if I can't get Fury, I want Dillian White. Just say I want to fight Dillian White. Get your people to make the fight. Dillian White is the one coming off of a loss against Povetkin. If he says, he doesn't want the rematch, he can pull out the rematch. This is Charles D.
You goddamn right. What up?
What up, Mr. Charles D?
What's a go on, brethren?
Bye, Dana. Hey, tell me if I'm not using a headphone. So if you're getting an echo, let me know.
Nah, no echo. You good.
All right. Go ahead, boss. Talk to me.
What's the topic?
I mean, Deontay Wilder said, if he can't get Fury, he wants White. What's your opinion?
He don't want White or Miller.
Jarrell Miller?
Mm-hmm. Your boy, Cheeseburger.
You goddamn right. Jarrell Miller was framed, and I believe.
Whatever. That fight would have sold because there's a big they don't like each other. Like that shit's crazy
between Jarrell Miller and Wilder because I'm not sure the history. Well, why
because they always it's same thing with a woman. Like I think it was Wilder's wife gave birth, and then Miller was hella disrespectful. Well, it wasn't disrespectful. He sent flowers, but I guess they took it the wrong way. But Miller's a fucking savage, so that shit's hilarious. Like, you know what? Yeah, I used to sleep with your wife, and then send her flowers. Like,
okay, wow,
that's shit. Well, yeah, exactly. They got personal beef, but that would sell the fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But all this other extra shit, don't know.
Well, I'm not sure. Like he's saying like he wants to fight Dillian White. Like if Tyson, listen, man,
he's not okay. Prior to the Fury fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long was White the WBC mandatory? Like how long did that go? Like 2 years?
Some 100 days or something. He was number one ranked for some time. Then he was mandatory. Or he was going to be mandatory. I don't know, but he was number one ranked for a lot of years.
And he didn't even. And then he did. Yeah, but he never entertained it.
Like, hold on, Brother Smoke. What's up, man?
What's up? Yeah. Let me. I heard you say you don't know the timeline, so let me help you guys out because I do. This thing's been marinating at this point now since the summer of 2017. They've been going back and forth. $4 million, $7 million, $8 million. Fight this guy. Mandatory for this dude. It's been a long, drawn out saga.
Yeah.
But where we are right now is both guys got stopped in their last fight. But
Yes.
before that, they were talking a lot of trash, right? And they've been
Yeah.
going back and forth. And I think right now at this point, like Wilder's never actually came out and said how much he wants to fight Dillian Whyte until right now. And
Mm.
to me, too, it's because two things have happened. Not only did he get stopped by Fury, but also Dillian Whyte got stopped by Povetkin. But
Mm-hmm.
also three things. But the way Dillian Whyte responded to uh, to Wilder getting stopped by Fury, that laughing he was doing, I think that hurt I think that hurt him. I think there's a bunch of things about the stoppage that he just experienced at Tyson Fury that he's still
But Smoke,
processing, and
that
that
shit was hilarious.
Dillian Whyte response is one of those things.
But Smoke, that shit was hilarious.
I think
Oh,
Dillian
cool,
White
cool.
was.
So I'm sure if you were a fighter and you want to go around saying it's hilarious, right? And you're in a heavyweight, Deontay Wilder probably want to see you. I'm saying he feels some kind of way about that stoppage. He's not done processing that.
Okay, that's cool. If he feels some type of way, see the person who just whooped your ass.
I mean, what do you think he's doing? The question was, what happens if he
Dude,
doesn't
he
fight
let that
Fury?
shit expire twice.
Okay, that's what they're saying, but now that's what they said, but now they've backed off of that. At some point, you got to understand that you're vouching for the word of proven liars when you start talking about what Fury says and what Bob says.
I'm going by what Wilder did because that shit passed 2 times and then all of a sudden it
You don't
pops
know
up
that Wilder
now.
did that. The only way
Hold
he's
on.
saying that
Hold
because
on.
Bob said so and Fury said so. You don't know
No,
what
but
Hold on.
Wilder
how?
did.
No, but
Hold
how
on.
do I not? Oh,
Hold
I
on,
forgot.
Johnson. Sporting Advantage. Good day to you, sir.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm
So,
good. If y'all hearing echo, let me know, please. From me. Go ahead, Sporting.
Hang on, let me mute something real quick. I had the other stream up. All
But
right.
Smoke, how
Yeah,
do we not know that? And he passed that shit 2 times.
well, because you keep saying he passed it 2 times, but Bob just released a tweet. Well, Michael Benson released a tweet from Bob saying that the next fight is going to be either AJ or Wilder. If the
Okay,
if the
hold on.
contract expired, right? Why is Wilder going to mediation and binding arbitration? Those are
Okay,
contract
hold on.
stipulations,
I
right?
don't I don't I don't
But
want to
those
get
are
back
not.
in that again
Wow.
in that
Wow.
discussion about contract experiment. We talking about Dillian White and Deontay West. Sporting Advantage, you there?
yeah, I'm here. I was
Go
just
ahead.
letting them finish up. Yeah, about the whole Dillian White versus Wilder. I think he's saying it now just because, let's be honest, he's looking for a fight. He's looking for a fight of a little bit of star magnitude to it, and White will bring that. But it's like you said. I think he's kind of approached this maybe too late in the game.
You hold on. You think it's too late for the Dillian? Like it doesn't have the same cachet? You don't think so?
Well, Dillian doesn't have anything right now. He doesn't have a belt, and Wilder doesn't have a belt. So it's kind of like why would maybe to fight like as an eliminator, but I don't see that happening. And he also was talking about in the interview how he hopes he's not going to be like under the Bridger weight or whatnot. And I don't know. He's all over the place talking with what he's not going to do. But I just want to know what his next move is going to be.
Well, the question was, what happens? Who do you want to fight if the Fury fight falls through? He's currently suing Tyson Fury for a fight, right? So the question is, what happens if you lose? Then he said to Dillian Whyte, he said him 3 times and went to this whole thing about how Dillian Whyte is obsessed with him, right? But he also mentioned Parker and Ruiz. Now, Ruiz is also coming off of a loss, not a stoppage loss. And Parker, I mean,
But
he's coming off of a win, but Parker, he never really had there's never really a huge interest in Parker outside of, him having a belt, really,
Smoke.
outside the UK. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah,
There's
I'll
been a
agree with
real
that.
huge fan. There's been a huge demand for a Parker fight outside of the UK.
Smoke, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is he looking for all these fights now?
He's not looking for all these fights now. He was asked a question about what happens if the Fury fight falls through.
No. I'm just asking a simple question. Like, why is he asking for these fights now?
He's not asking for him. He wants to fight Fury. Period.
Smoke. Just listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Why is he asking for these fights now?
He is not asking for any fight.
Okay, Smoke, listen. He wasn't trying to do any of these fights prior. Remember, one face, one name, WBC. I got the green belt.
I'm gonna share the quote from Michael Benson. Again, check out the Last Stand podcast. I listened to it. I don't want to play it here because my shit might get snatched down. But
no, I don't want you to get snatched down. But Smoke, why all of a sudden is he doing this shit? Wait, hold on. I heard echoing. Somebody was saying something?
Go ahead, Charles.
Oh no, was that you? Go ahead. You finish what you're saying. I was gonna.
No, sorry. I was just gonna I'm gonna share the quote. If you're hearing an echo, because I'm not using my headphones or nothing, I'm just using the damn Surface tablet. So I'm gonna mute and let you and Smoke. I'm gonna share the quote from Michael Benson. He has quite a few quotes from the podcast. So you and Smoke, go ahead. I'm gonna share the quote that Wilder was asked about Dillian Whyte, whatever.
Charles D, we've heard of all these fights before. The Ruiz fight, he was saying, handle your business with AJ, and then we're gonna get it on for Undisputed. For Dillian Whyte, he was like, let me handle my business over here, and then we'll get to Dillian Whyte. For Joseph Parker, he been made an offer to Joseph Parker when Joseph Parker was a champion. This is not all of a sudden out of the blue, right? This is literally him talking about the second and third and fourth and fifth choices on his fight list. And they're all guys we've heard him talk about before, and all fights we've heard about before.
So we talk about your king. We still we still on the same page.
I mean, he's my king, like I'm his king. Like that's just how that's a cultural thing. If you get it, you get it. If not, then you make jokes.
Oh, I'm gonna make jokes. I got tons of jokes.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's all good. We used to have T-shirts. It's a black thing. You wouldn't understand.
I know.
Anywho, so here you have it. Here's the quote.
You heard that shit.
I want Dillian Whyte. So he was asked about 3 fights, if he can't get Tyson Fury, whatever. But in this particular quote, he's saying the dude's obsessed with me. He acts like we had a bad breakup, and he can't get over me. I'm the man he wanna be. Oh, that's some shade there. That man said Dillian Whyte wants to be him. He's jealous.
Yeah, he said he's jealous of the way he moves, that he's himself, that he can go out and do it was kind of
basically Dillian Whyte acting like a fool. All right, so
well, do you believe that, Smoke?
Do I believe that Wilder is talking trash? Yeah, I believe he's talking trash. Do I believe that Dillian Whyte wants to be Wilder? I ain't in the business like that. I don't know. I don't care. Like that's between a bunch of this trash talk that goes between these fighters is because they already have a relationship and there's a back and forth and all this stuff that I'm not privy to. So to me, what this is these two guys needling each other. The same way Dillian Whyte was laughing at him. Like you might think it's hilarious for reasons you think it's hilarious, but I promise you, Dillian Whyte thought it was funny for a whole different reason.
It's funny for me and Dillian Whyte because the shit is clown shit. It's fucking hilarious. Like when Dillian Whyte was sitting there wholeheartedly laughing, I believe this nigga was wholeheartedly laughing.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I was wholeheartedly laughing when Povetkin assassinated him. I was, that tickled the hell out of me. I thought it was hilarious. But I'm sure I'm sure Wilder thought it was funny for a completely different reason.
Yeah, but did your king speak on it?
Yeah, like Dillian can also make fun of himself too. There's some type
no. But there's separate reasons why Dillian can talk on that. Because Wilder does not have the same fucking resume Whyte has.
Oh, okay. So you think this is a resume thing? Like that is
no. It's not a resume. Smoke. Smoke. You're gonna
hold up, Charles. Hold up. You cut me off. Let me just finish.
Okay.
If you think this is because Whyte fought Joseph Parker and who else and Who else?
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah,
Chisora?
yeah,
Like
Anthony
you're
it's like
Joshua.
you're
it's
setting. You're
ridiculous.
about to
It's
set.
ridiculous.
You're
Like this is a
smoke.
rivalry
You're
about two
about to
guys.
smoke. You're about to set yourself up.
This is a
You're about to
rivalry
set.
about two guys. You're talking about a dude being
You are
jealous of
going to
another
set
guy
yourself
who's
up.
you're talking about a dude being jealous of the resume of another guy who's never had a championship fight. Yeah, it
Okay.
doesn't make damn sense. Like one guy we can have an argument about whether or not he's going to the Hall of Fame. Another guy who's never had a championship fight, and you think he's jealous of his resume.
Okay, and then you got another guy who fought probably 3 out of the top 10 in his 7 amateur fights.
Yeah, I get it. So, and
Dillian
I'm
White
sure
only
Wilder
has.
thinks that Ortiz knocks not only knocks out Dillian White, but everybody Dillian White fought.
Yeah, but those fights have to happen.
Correct. That's what I'm telling you. I don't think he's jealous of his resume. I don't think he's jealous of any of that stuff. He's not jealous of Dillian White. I think those two are just jawing back and forth because they're talking shit to each other because they've been doing it for years at this point.
Well, hold on. Well, let me
Honestly, if you're looking at it from a fan standpoint, Miller Wilder makes the most sense. Genuine hatred.
Is Jarrell Miller? Is Jarrell Miller actually in boxing still? Like, is this dude?
I don't know, but I mean, just like from a standpoint where like hatred comes from, like between them two, that's genuine hatred. Like them two niggas can't stand each other.
Well, let me ask you something, Charles D. Let me ask you something. If Deontay Wilder says, you know what, if by say early January or late December, it's established that Tyson Fury is going to fight Ajit Kabayel next, and Deontay Wilder says, you know what, well, fine, I want Dillian White. Dillian White can just decline the rematch clause with Povetkin because he's the one who's coming off the last. Which fight would you prefer to see, Dillian White versus Povetkin or Dillian White versus Deontay Wilder?
Yeah, definitely Wilder. That's a no-brainer there.
I mean, because if Deontay Wilder wants to make that fight, and I'm quite sure it's not going to take too long to know what his contractual rights are with Tyson Fury. If he wants to take that fight, he should just call for that fight right away.
Now, let's turn. Or sorry to interrupt, but I just want to throw this in there. Would you like the Povetkin fight as much as White, being that Povetkin just beat White?
Sorry, give me that again. Sorry.
Like, would you rather have White versus Wilder or Wilder versus Povetkin?
Wilder versus Povetkin? No,
yeah,
I would want Dillian White versus Deontay Wilder because I think
I want to see that fight.
Would be absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be hilarious. I think it'd be the same thing. Like there's pure hatred. No.
It's gonna be
there's a hatred for each other in that fight.
I think that is a marquee fight. But the problem is that's a marquee fight in the UK.
Cool.
That's the problem. Any comments on that? Because I don't know if Deontay Wilder would travel to fight Dillian White. I think he would travel to fight Tyson Fury.
But why wouldn't he travel to fight either one? It's a big fight.
Yeah, I think that would be an opportunity for him to also win UK fans because, White's not the most liked. He's almost like the bad boy of the division or of the UK.
No, but everybody respects White because White, look at his fucking resume. Yo, dog, he goes against everybody.
Hold on.
Yeah, no argument there.
I got
this nigga got the amateur background of a fucking novice, but he just gets better. Like if you looked at his resume, you'd be like, yo, in his first 10 fights, he beat AJ, and you would never think he beat him because he lost.
Hold on, Charles.
When it counted.
Hold on, Charles.
Oh, my bad.
It's me again. What's up?
It's me again. What's going on, King?
Hey.
What up, Black?
Peace.
Me again. What's going on, Charles? Sporting. It's me again.
Any comments?
Hey, did y'all say something about Wilder trying to fight somebody? Who's he trying to fight?
Wilder said if the Tyson Fury fight falls through, then he wants first and foremost Dillian White. He reiterated he wants Dillian White because Dillian White effectively is jealous.
Bullshit.
All right, so he wants Dillian White, and I like the fight.
Dillian White effectively is what?
That man said Dillian White wants to be him. Dillian White is obsessed with him, and Dillian White wants to be him. So I'm with it.
Well, my question is, where is Wilder ranked? Because we know he's not no champ. So where is he ranked?
Number one.
Oh no, yeah, Black. He's still champ.
No, he's ranked number one. Ranked number one is the answer.
So he's ranked over Povetkin and Dillian White off a loss.
Yeah, well, Povetkin is an interim champion, and Dillian White is nowhere. I don't know where Dillian White is ranked, but it ain't number one. Povetkin is outside the rankings because he's an interim champ.
So Deontay want that Dillian White work all of a sudden.
Yeah,
just not as a champ, but as a contender, he wants to fight Dillian White. Okay. Maybe he was just too risky when he had the belt, but now he don't have the belt. Like, I'm free smoke. Free smoke.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, and as fight fans, do we care about belts or do we care about fights?
Both.
Yeah, I'm not a belt fan. I'm a fight fan. I can't tell you. Like my favorite fights, exactly. I can't tell you. Like unless there was a fight for undisputed. Like I can't tell you what belt Cameron was for. I can't. You know what? I can't even tell you what belt Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather was. It's just a fight.
Teofimo Lopez, Bud Crawford, Usyk. These guys held belts.
Okay, yeah, right. So what belt was what did Julian Dongo have? Nobody gives a damn about that. Like that's what I'm saying. Unless it's undisputed, like nobody. Like you gotta have like some fights are all about some fights are all about a belt. Some fights aren't about a belt at all. Like Ricky Hatton and AJ versus Fury. And Ricky Hatton and Manny Pacquiao. Ricky Hatton and Manny Pacquiao had no belt except the Ring Magazine belt.
So AJ versus Fury, present day. Do you want to see that fight?
Do I want to see who? AJ versus Fury? Yeah, I want to see that fight, and I don't care who has a belt. I want to see that fight if neither one of them has a belt. Let's say Pulev wins. Let's say Pulev wins. Let's say Pulev and Usyk fight for undisputed. I still want to see AJ fight. I still want to see AJ fight Fury and Wilder. Even if Usyk or Pulev is the undisputed champ.
Yeah, I think I kind of understand what Smoke's getting at, and it's more along the lines of like if it was like if the belts were distributed properly, then you would be like if you're fighting a belt holder, you would be fighting the best fight, regardless. So I understand what you're saying, where it's like you don't give a crap about this belt holder when obviously there's a higher value fight to make money off of, but like the idea is you want the belt holders to be the guys making the most and competing and fighting in the best fights.
Yeah, I mean that's when that happens, that's great. And that's cool for a big fight atmosphere. But for me, I'm a fight fan, man. I just want to see the fight. I can get up for the big fight atmosphere, but I don't need that for a good fight.
Yeah, I agree.
But Black, let me ask you a question, because I asked Charles the same question, right? If in fact Tyson Fury is found out that he don't have to fight Wilder, and Tyson Fury is bent on fighting Caballero, would you prefer to see Dillian White fight Povetkin or Dillian White fight Wilder? Because Dillian White is not scheduled to fight Povetkin until January 30th. He could pull out that fight.
Yeah, he tested for the corona shit, right?
Yeah, so it would if the Tyson Fury thing falls through whatever, and he can fight
I'm not against the Wilder versus Dillian White. I've been talking about that fight when Wilder was the champ. A lot of people wasn't on that, so I guess they got to ride with it now because Wilder's saying it. You know what I mean? But when Dillian White was at that top spot and was barking down on Wilder, and Wilder sent him, I ain't got to fight you this many years, and whoop-de-whoop. We knew what time it was. So, okay, yeah, it's a good fight. We've been wanting to see it. Different circumstances, but okay, cool. At the end of the day, none of them is champ.
Right.
At the end of the day. So it's just to be another heavyweight fight, and may the best man win. It's heavyweight division. But if you asking me, it's about time. It's about time.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with you. The next thing Deontay Wilder spoke about was, other than Dillian White, there's a list of people that he apparently put out there that he would fight. Otherwise, let me put that list. Smoke had alluded to it, so let me put that list up for y'all, so y'all can see what Deontay is talking about. Here it is. So he named 5 heavyweights that he would like to fight if he's unable to get the trilogy bout with Tyson Fury next. He says, of course, Dillian White is number 1 choice. Andy Ruiz, Robert Helenius, Parker, Usyk. What y'all think about them fights?
I think that like realistically, I'd probably want to see the Ruiz fight as number 1, but I mean it's not bad having it, White 1, then Ruiz or whatnot. Helenius and Parker, I'm not really interested in that, to be honest, but Usyk, he's starting to come up. Definitely would like to see that. It's kind of like I don't know. I don't really see any of them being very competitive for Wilder, except for Ruiz and maybe White. But even White, I don't know if does anybody have Wilder beaten or White beaten Wilder.
You said, does anybody have White beating Wilder?
Yeah, if they were to fight.
Yeah, I think it's a good chance Dylan White could beat Wilder. Hell yeah, especially coming off this loss, going in there with that damn entity shit again. He might get knocked out. It's boxing.
Yeah, I'd never thought White was going to beat Wilder, but that list definitely. There's one name that's on there that stands out that it's not there.
Who?
The unified heavyweight champion of the world.
Why is that?
Why is it? Why is what?
Why is it not? Why didn't he list it? You think it's?
I don't know. It sounds like you don't want to fight him.
Who don't want to fight him?
Maybe he's a 6th name on the list, but whatever. The list was who do you want next? I guess maybe he thinks that the fight was out of him. But
give him the smoke, bro. Give him the smoke.
Since the question is who you want to fight, it feels like that name should be on there if you want it. Because I mean, who knew about Robert Helenius? Why the hell would you be wanting to fight Robert Helenius? Like, why is that a desire of yours? Maybe he's thinking about just what's possible. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't see Kawanaki. Why not count? Because I guess Kawanaki lost to Helenius.
Yeah, he was at the top of the sweepstakes until he got beat by Helenius.
But Smoke, maybe it's that the reason why he wouldn't get Fury is because Fury and AJ are now packaged together, right? So he's not gonna get Fury.
Yeah, not get it. Maybe he's just talking about what's possible, right? But the question was, who do you want? So not really what's possible.
I got you. So in your mind, is that alarming to you that he's left out the unified champion? Like, why?
No, I'm just saying that maybe he's just answering a different question, right? If the question really is who do you want, maybe who he really wants is Dillian White, and the rest of those people are like,
just fillers.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Yeah, I don't know. To me, if you ask who do you want, it seems like he should want. If it's not the one champ, it should be the other champ.
I think I was made aware of this tweet because he's on Twitter, and I have quite a few people on my page who sometimes we talk boxing. A lot of Deontay Wilder fans, and one of them follows Deontay Wilder heavy, and he retweeted it, and he was like, same as Smoke says, he was like, hey yo, why you don't have AJ's name on here? Like he had a retweet, and he was like, I don't understand. Like you can't get Fury, try to get AJ. Like he don't understand. So to hear you say that, I honestly didn't see it like that, but okay. I honestly didn't see anything maybe untoward why he didn't put Anthony Joshua, because I figure maybe if you can't get Tyson Fury, it's because Tyson Fury is no package with Anthony Joshua, and they might take themselves out of the runnings for another 2 fights for the year in 2021 if they do fight.
Yeah.
Right. So
they're talking about if you don't fight Wilder, you're going to fight Ajit Kabayel, right? So that ain't AJ. AJ's scheduled to fight 2 guys like Pulev and Usyk, right? But that's not really the question. The question to me isn't who's more likely would you fight, right? How likely is the fight? It's more like what's your wish
Who do
list?
you want? Yeah,
Yeah,
Who do
exactly.
you want?
I'm looking at it as a wish list, and I don't know how the hell Hellenius makes it to anybody's wish list.
I think he is missing out on like it's kind of like what Fury's doing right now. He's, throwing a lot of names into a hat is like, hey, I want to fight AJ, I'd beat Wilder again, whatever it is. And I think Wilder's missing out on that. Like, even if it's, like you said, it's, maybe it's going to be tied up for 2 years or whatnot, still, throw his name in there, let people, create a narrative that's like, oh, AJ's ducking now or whatever it may be.
Oh, Mr. Jones said Eddie protecting little old AJ to the max. That's right, Mr. Jones.
Wow. This man got mandatories and all of that. I guess he protected though.
Yeah, he protected. But yeah, the podcast again, he went into the whole situation where he's accusing Tyson Fury of stuff. He's not backing down on that at all. He's not walking that back. Let me ask y'all something. He's doing these podcasts, and these comments are now becoming more and more mainstream. They're not really isolated to maybe just YouTube commentators or YouTube media personalities. These Tyson Fury comments, as they become more mainstream, if they get picked up more and more by the quote unquote mainstream media, what does this do for Deontay Wilder in terms of his image and his messaging? Is this helping or is it hurting at all? I mean,
Hey, as long as he keeps it about trying to get Tyson Fury into a ring for a fight, I think it'll be fine. Because I think at the end of the day, most people are fight fans. A lot of people are controversy fans, right? And they want to either vilify and pick a team to root for or to demonize. But as long as he keeps it like, I'm not going to fight. Like, as long as he keeps it in the realm of I'm trying to make a fight, I think he'll be fine.
Okay. Sporting Black, the comments by the Wilder. Wilder is not backing off of these comments. The last time podcast is, in my opinion, pretty mainstream because the guy works a lot with Fox and PBC and all that. It's the same guy, right? Smoke Brian. What's his name?
Brian Custer. He does
Showtime.
everything. He does he does football. He does college.
Right.
He does ESPN.
So
he is a mainstream media guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it hurts him. Just because you see a lot nowadays. It's not like, whatever you said a couple years ago is going to come back to bite you. We have people that get convicted and, serve like a sentence or whatnot and come back and people love them. So I don't think it's going to hurt them too much. Maybe for like future opponents, maybe they kind of take that into like as a factor of like, oh, am I going to get thrown under the bus for winning or whatever it may be.
Got you. Black, anything on that? On the fact that he reiterated his comments on that show?
You're talking about the being poisoned and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, just pretty much accused them of the same things.
Yeah, I mean, I watched 7 minutes of the interview and I turned it off. So, I really lost interest in the guy. Deontay got to prove himself. But he's a contender. So everybody got to accept this man as a contender and got to work his way back up to the top. Big champ shit. So build up. Work on more than the right hand. And now that you got rid of Breland, if you get in trouble, nobody can throw the towel in or you will get fired. So that's a lesson to anybody out there. Don't you dare even think about throwing a towel anywhere close to the ring with Deontay's in there. Promotion.
There you go.
Hey, I mean, if Wilder is it's that list to me is a real prize fighters list. That's not that's not a legacy with anything that is, I'm just trying to get paid and knock people out.
Wait, you don't think Deontay Wilder versus Usyk would do well? Not in America, because Deontay Wilder is based in America. Like all those fights he called out won't do really big in America. All those fighters, 3 of those fighters are with Matchroom, and of course they're primarily based in England. So I mean, and it's not like those fighters have any real cachet in America at the moment that he can bring them over to America to meet Deontay Wilder where he is.
He gonna fight Hellenius,
yeah, man. Like I don't understand why Charles Martin's not there instead of Hellenius.
He gonna fight Hellenius. That's a more test. That's a bigger test for him. He got to work. He got to get a warm up. So you got to fight Hellenius first.
But you would think, Charles Martin would be more foremost than Deontay Wilder's mind because they're both pretty much, yeah. I mean, Hellenius. Well, Hellenius is sort of an obscure type dude. Like, you would have to think real hard for Robert. Like, I don't think about Robert Hellenius. I'm saying, even though he beat Kawanaki. I think about Kawanaki before Robert.
I just like his nickname.
Yeah, you had to remember that Hellenius beat Kawanaki, right? It's a Dillian White. See, Charles Martin, he and Wilder have a common opponent in their last fight, and also Kawanaki beat Martin, but Hellenius beat Kawanaki. So I don't know. It seems like there's something about Kawanaki in there. I get Ruiz. Ruiz is a good one. But yeah, I just Hellenius. It seems like if you're not gonna call out AJ, how come you can't call out at least Charles Martin? Right?
Who's the A side between Ruiz and Wilder?
That's a good question.
That's not really that good a question because Ruiz has never headlined a damn thing. He's always been the B side. He's always the opponent. He just is overachieving as an opponent.
A former unified champion of the world, heavyweight.
Yeah, exactly. Why? How did he get that way? Certainly not by being an A side.
No, actually getting in the ring with AJ. That's how.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. And you know who else got in the ring with AJ? Carlos Takam. Another guy who would not be A side if you go Wilder right now.
And lost. Ruiz won though.
Yeah, I know. Ruiz won. You know who else won? Wilder. More than Ruiz. Ruiz won one fight against one guy.
No. I'm talking about
Ruiz never defended a damn thing. Like, I mean, I get. See, here's the thing. If you want to talk about, if you want to equate the number
isn't that
of
a better win on Wilder's?
If you want to equate the number of titles that a guy held to whether or not he is a actual draw and has the leverage in a negotiation, like that's not the way it works. Like, it's cool that Ruiz beat AJ down. Great. Does not make him A side against a lot of people. It doesn't make him A side against Fury.
Who's a bigger draw, Ruiz or Wilder?
Ruiz has never drawn anything. It'll take more paper to draw him because he's a big dude, but
who's gonna sell more tickets? Gonna be Wilder's side buying more tickets.
Ruiz is not drawing up. Like, did you see Ruiz's fight at Carson before he fought AJ? Did you see the crowd at the Ruiz fight?
Mexico, man. Viva Mexico.
No, that was right there in California. The dude's from Imperial, California. He was right there in Carson, California, spitting distance from his house, and nobody was there.
Fashion over, dog.
But to be fair, it wasn't like he had exactly like any promotion or anything. He came in, on a whim for that fight. So if he had like a whole camp, so I don't know. It's a little unfair to say that.
That shows how kind of dry he was. He was just like he got bought out of a contract because he wasn't selling, right? There was no activity. There's no way like the Bob era.
Real quick. Hey, hold on. Eddie Reynoso.
Yeah, okay. Eddie Reynoso is a bigger draw than Andy Ruiz.
Okay. Black and Smoke, hold on. Sporting, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just adding to what they were saying. I was saying that, he at one point he was contemplating, retiring from boxing after the Parker loss, and that's, wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, to go back to construction, to work construction, but now that guy's a bigger draw, right? Okay.
Yeah, he likes to eat, man, so he got to get these millions.
The next thing Wilder talked about, he not down with no damn Bridgerweight, all right? I'm not sure what's up in Maurice.
Yeah, you saw that.
But he not down with that, all right? But here's one thing I want to say about that. Cool, you're not down with Bridgerweight, but there's a faction of Deontay Wilder fans who like to tout and complain. They tout when he wins and complains when he gets a rough time that he gives up a lot of weight to his opponents. Let me say to y'all, man, I agree with Wilder with the Bridgerweight thing, but I don't want to hear from y'all no more about how much weight he gives up. All right? I don't want to hear that no more. All right? The man said his future, his legacy or whatever is at heavy. I don't want to hear no more about how much weight he gives up. He don't want to do nothing with no Bridgerweight. He's a heavyweight. So I don't want to hear no complaints.
Yeah, Iron Kong, I have a quick question about that. During that interview, he said that he would hope that he would be exempt from that. Does that mean that if he were to weigh under, would he not be able to fight? I didn't really understand that.
I don't know what. Well, Suleiman did say that Bridgerweights can fight in the heavyweight division, which is, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
So the heavyweight, I didn't know. I thought the heavyweight, like one of the features of the heavyweight, is that anybody could go in there, no matter what weight you were.
I mean, it's the Bridgerweight is just, hey man, just shut up, man.
Listen, we're gonna have just coming from a guy who's been watching boxing since there was one belt in every division and 2 sanctioning bodies. I've seen not only more sanctioning bodies, I've seen more belts and more divisions. We're gonna see more of it. We're gonna see more divisions and more sanctioning bodies. I remember when a world where there was no cruiserweight division and it was 175 was it light heavyweight, then it was 190 was a light heavyweight. See that, like it just happens, right? That's the sport.
Got you. Black, anything on Wilder saying he ain't in no damn Mauricio Suleiman weight? Because Wilder did say he heard that it's a division being made for him specifically, and he said he declines. He's not interested in no damn Bridgerweight. All right.
Yeah, who's gonna fight the Bridgerweight division?
Hey, that's some ungrateful shit. That's all. That's my opinion on it. He ungrateful. You know?
What?
They made a division for him, and he declined.
And who's supposed to fight it, and who recognizes it? Like this is gonna be years before anybody gives a damn about that Bridgerweight division. And then how long will it take for anybody to recognize one of those champions as a real champion outside of WBC?
You know Canelo will take that belt.
Canelo will fight him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's me again.
Anywho, hey man, I don't really have a lot more to add on to this. If you're interested, it's the Last Stand podcast. Deontay Wilder being interviewed. You know, Black said he didn't like the interview. I listened to it. You know, it was fine, I guess. So yeah, but the last thing before I leave, Bob Arum and Terence Crawford, man. Bob Arum had his interview with The Athletic, and he said he's not gonna go broke promoting Terence Crawford. He said Terence Crawford doesn't do enough to promote himself, basically. This comes on the heel that Terence Crawford and Top Rank seem to be having the issues. Crawford has 1 fight left, I think. 1 or 2 fights left. And Bob Arum is just seemingly like, man, whatever, you know. I mean, he might be the best fighter in the world, but who knows if we want to keep him? Who knows if we want to keep spending money? So let me ask y'all something. Bob Arum's comments, and how much is it on the fighter and how much is it on the promoter to get their name known?
Go ahead, Sporting.
Okay. I was just going to say that personally, I didn't like it. Bob Arum has this. I don't know if it's age or whatever, but he almost seems to like get this complex where it's like everybody's against him, and I don't know. You expect more out of him. Like say that about somebody that you're not promoting, but don't say that about a guy who just went out there and put on a 4th round knockout. And I don't know. I think he's missing his point about he wants these champions and everybody that's marketable. Well, this is the time to market these guys. They just came off great wins with T.O. and also with Crawford and his KO. This is what you want to market. But I don't know. I didn't really like it, but nowadays you kind of expect it with everybody. Everybody's just trying to cover their own butt, and nobody's really like, I don't know, if it's going to cost them anything, they're not going to really be a part of it.
I think.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say real quick. I think that Lomachenko loss really hurt a lot on Top Rank side, and he like, man, I'm left to deal with Bud Crawford, and he want to be out here like, hey man, promote yourself, do what you gotta do, and I think he could have put more energy behind Bud Crawford, but he saw Loma right there with the whole Matrix thing, and that was his favorite. He even got him franchised, all of that. So we know that the favoritism was on the Loma side, and now you left with Bud Crawford, and hey, the pressure is on.
Yeah, that's a good
I don't
point.
think he want to put forth that effort like that.
I tell you what, man, I was in getting ready for college, summer, getting ready to go back to school when I saw the Michael Nunn Iran Barkley fight. If you see what Bob said about Michael Nunn after he won, his guy after winning that fight, then you get what Bob Arum's about. The guy is so past, like the way that he promote, like the idea that you are going to put more of the promotional responsibility on your fighter, but not talk about how you're going to take less as a promoter, right? Is a non-go. Like at this point, the game has passed the guy up. Like we see him 24/7, all access. We see social media. We see guys are out there promoting themselves and becoming actual splitting their promotional fees with promoters. And Bob is out here telling guys that they need to do more work without it taking less money. We see guys like Andy Ruiz languish in obscurity under him. And then 2 fights in, he's fighting for the most money he's ever fought in his life, in the biggest fights of his life, leaving there. We see guy after guy, no matter how well they even do under Top Rank, they do better once you go somewhere else, right? The guy, for me, like, I'll take Motown as an example where, Barry Gordy had this whole idea about how you make an artist. He gave him elocution lessons. He taught him how to, which fork to use, taught him how to take pictures, how to do interviews. They created stars. That's what a promoter is supposed to do. You're supposed to sign talent and then leverage that talent for your own money, not sign a talent and then tell the talent to do your job for you.
Yeah,
That's a good point. Black, go ahead. Sorry.
No, sir. Listening. Taking.
No, I'm not.
I'm taking notes.
If you
smoke.
Go ahead.
What you saying, fam?
No, I agree with Smoke. I agree with y'all. But Bob Arum is if you look at the post-fight interview with Terence Crawford after he knocked out Brook, and Bob Arum is standing there. So the interviewer asked Terence Crawford, nobody knocked out, or something like this, like nobody knocked out Kell Brook like this before. Is there any comparison with you and Errol Spence? So Terence Crawford was like, nah. I mean, it's a different time. He's a different fighter now, so there's really no comparison. So it doesn't do anything for him personally. And Bob Arum was like uncomfortable because I guess he thought Terence Crawford would be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I knocked him out better than Errol Spence. I fought a better Kell Brook. I this, I that. So when Terence Crawford didn't do that, when he was honest and he said, no, I mean it's a different guy, a different time, different circumstances. It doesn't do anything for me. There's really no comparison. Bob Arum was visibly uncomfortable. So Terence Crawford doesn't seem to be a person that maybe goes along with the narratives that Bob Arum would like. I mean, that was an honest take. He was like, no, I mean, Kell Brook back then was a different guy to know, right? I didn't fight Kell Brook, even though some people say, some people are trying to push the narrative that this is the best Kell Brook because he's not coming down from 160, he's not coming off a loss and all this. Bob Arum was visibly uncomfortable, right? I'm not sure what Terence Crawford is going. He has one fight left. I'm not sure what he's going to do next. But I agree with Smoke, but I also would say Terence Crawford seems to have sort of a bittersweet relationship with the media, because I remember one time, I think he was fighting. No, it was during the build-up with Amir Khan. And he had to ask a media member, who do y'all expect me to be when I speak to you? Because he's saying, why do I have to act a certain way for y'all? Why do I have to portray a certain image for y'all? Like he was saying, like people expect him to be a certain way. I don't know if he means as an American fighter or an American black fighter, he doesn't maybe act how they think he should act.
Yeah, he's not a clown. He's just not a clown. So there's a lot of clowns out here too. So when media is attracted to that clown stuff and they want you to act a certain way, and he's just real. So he's not going for all that clown stuff. I ain't got no issue with him. You know what I mean? But the ones that want him to do all the silliness and be part of the narrative clicks and shit, they don't mess with him like that. That's all it is.
Yeah, I was going to say that
he's too real for a lot of these individuals out here.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to just reiterate what you said earlier on your live, Black, that it's just like, it's not his character. It's not the type of person he is. He kind of is more reserved and, likes to talk in the ring. So Yeah, I agree with that.
Just how that
That's
is,
what
man.
Smoke just sent his apologies that he gotta go. He sends his apologies and his stance. So peace out, Smoke. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, so that was the whole Bud Crawford. He has one fight left, and I don't know. I guess people are expecting him after the last fight. Bob Arum said he was going to try for the Pacquiao fight, which was, according to him and Bud, was pretty much done until COVID hit real hard in Qatar or whatever. And they're gonna try again for the Pacquiao fight, right? But you also hear Pacquiao tied to Mikey Garcia with the zone. Now you have another issue. No, if Terence Crawford does not get this fight and he leaves um, Top Rank, can Terence Crawford do like a Canelo where he can form his own company and fight free agent fights? Is he that caliber of fighter?
Nah, he need a promoter. I think he needs a
Yeah,
promoter.
definitely needs a promoter. He's just it's also where he's at too. And I think this was a big problem with Wilder. His whole career is like, you know, where you're located has a lot to do with that. If you're in nowhere Alabama trying to promote yourself, or nowhere Nebraska trying to promote yourself, you're not going to really get through to too many people. You got to get to like the Atlanta or the New York, you know. That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's where, you know, Miller is thriving, and you know, he's a kickboxer.
New York, yeah.
But
Right
but but
around too.
with the power of social media, is location such a big thing anymore?
Yes,
Like,
because you still have to
Yeah.
make your appearances at the clubs, and you know, like the events that are going on, and those, you know, the biggest events and things. They're going to be in the big cities. Sorry, Black. Go ahead.
No, I was listening.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just saying that. Yeah, he's definitely got to get. I mean, it's going to affect him. Like, yeah, you can, you know, tweet all day, but if you're not at these events where people are, you know, able to like see you and, you know, like get these, you know, like artists or whatnot that you can go link up with, and you know, maybe like do like a promo with him, something. But you know, he's got to get to the point where he's around other people that are winning and winning financially.
Yeah, and you know, also too, you know, Iron Cone was also benefits a lot of these athletes is if they get around a lot of these podcasts, do these interviews, and ones that got a lot of viewership, and make their rounds. But you got to have those certain connections too. So, like I've seen Bud Crawford make his rounds, get on certain platforms like the Breakfast Club, Hot 97, certain platforms, but um, still you got to have that personality and to where if they interview you, they can get some good ratings and people really want to tune in because you got to have that kind of personality. So I'm not gonna say Bud Crawford is a dry personality guy, but when he's in an interview, you're not gonna get no out of the craziness, you know, electric, just out of the whack AB type stuff. You're not gonna get that with him. It's just gonna be a real, just basic interview. Whereas AB can say anything. You know what I'm saying? So he just got a different kind of personality where in the ring, man, you can make movies off Bud Crawford. Have him get in there, do his thing or whatnot. But just talking to him one on one, it's gonna be cool for the real fans, but you're not gonna get nothing that's just Hollywood, if you will.
right. That guy has a comment. He says, one thing I did grab some understanding from all of Bob's talk is why Bob didn't make the Bud versus Khan fight over here in the UK. Because you do need to be talking to media over here. So he's saying maybe that's why, you know, the Crawford versus Khan fight wasn't in the UK, because Terence Crawford would have to speak to, and that's why I said that's when Terence Crawford, I think, made those comments that I'm not like who to be or who y'all think I'm gonna be. I'm saying to a media member. I think it was during the Khan build-up, which I did find it curious. Why is Terence Crawford and Amir Khan fighting in New York and not in the UK somewhere where it will do big numbers, or in Nebraska? I mean, why are you fighting in New York? Like, this fight ain't gonna do no numbers. So maybe you know, maybe that's the point from that guy. Like, maybe basing the fight in the UK where Crawford would have to speak to the media a lot would be an issue for him.
He's
You know what
not
I'm saying?
that guy. But you know what? I wanted to say, didn't Bud Crawford show up to a DAZN event one time?
Yeah, I remember that he showed up with Aram too.
with Aaron.
I think he's usually around like Maurice Hooker. So
Yeah,
you know,
but it just makes me think like, because I don't think he's gonna resign the Top Rank, and I'm just trying to think about like I know he needs a promoter, and I think that if anybody, like somebody like an Eddie Hearn, man, this dude will try his best to promote the shit because he's a big fan of boxing, undisputed, and all of that. So if it was any chance that the Zone was able to land him, I think that would be a huge platform for him to do
yeah,
something.
I did see Hearn say he wants to sign Terrence Crawford, but wouldn't that also people could use it as an excuse because these other people is other side of the street. So if he does sign with Matchroom, the Zone, or with Matchroom and not maybe not with the Zone as a sole broadcast, but he signs with Matchroom. Wouldn't that then give these people another reason why they won't fight him because he's on the other side of the street? Even though we have seen Eddie Hearn be willing to send to Showtime to fight people because he was willing to send Andre to fight goddamn Charlo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's why I know Eddie Hearn is not going to stand in the way of no fight that Bud Crawford wants. Like he's a fan of pushing the biggest and best fights in boxing. But
And not
like I
only
said,
that is Eddie also. I mean, he makes you look good even when you're not, fighting or whatever. Like he does his fighters correctly, like when he's promoting them. So, I mean, I think it would be a great match for him. And with what you were saying about like, oh well, now they have an excuse not to want to go overseas or go fight them. But I don't know. I think Eddie Hearn would turn that against him and say like, oh, you're just scared to fight the pound for pound champion. So.
but and he keep receipts. Eddie Hearn keep them receipts too. He'd be like, "We
But
made this offer."
But in the Matchroom stable, Eddie don't have no 147 for what to fight. Maybe Mikey Garcia, but then that's another Errol Spence left over.
He got Vargas over there. He got the ability if Josh Taylor or Jose Ramirez come up, they've been talking about. Remember Bud? They were trying to promote Bud facing the winner out of one of them two guys. I think. Oh, I think
But but you don't think Arum would completely shut them fights down because Josh Taylor and Ramirez are staying with Top Rank. You seen Bob Arum pretty much tell Devin Haney, you're not going to ever fight Teofimo Lopez because you signed with the wrong promoter.
He told who that?
He told Eddie Hearn that Devin Haney signed with the wrong promoter. Now you're not going to get the Teofimo fight. That was a while back. This was a while back. He said Devin Haney not going to get that fight.
Yeah, they do that to, just kind of take shots at each other like, oh, you didn't sign with me, so you'll never get, this undisputed shot or whatever. But at the end of the day, money's going to talk.
I got you. So Aob said Bud should go to the PBC. He's 33 now. We don't need no more negotiation issues. Is there a guarantee that
is he going to make more money over there?
Okay,
oh, that's a good question. I don't know that Haney's very happy with the promoting job from Hearn right now, or I don't know. It could just be talk.
What? I don't know. I don't know why Haney. I mean, Haney's way more known now than he was before he signed with Hearn. In my opinion,
that's
shit.
true.
You became champion. They can say email all you want, but you got the real belt since you signed with them on the Zone side. So hey, I don't know what he talking about.
But the question, because even on PBC, the PBC, well, quote unquote, is not a promotion company, right?
Right.
PBC guys pretty much start to promote themselves. You don't really see them having a promoter next to them talking on their behalf. So that's why they're their own promoter. But what they have is a manager or advisor per se, who tells them which fights they're gonna take and what they're not gonna take. If Terrence Crawford entertains PBC, should he sign a deal like I'm gonna sign with you, and these are the fights I want guaranteed, right? Like you have to give me this fight, that fight, and this fight. Because then they sign Terrence Crawford and make him run the gamut. Like you gotta fight Porter, you gotta fight Thurman, you gotta fight this before you get Errol Spence.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Ain't nobody gonna guarantee nothing. Like they gonna do what they do. But I mean, looking at the situation, like we can all agree that this dude needs a promoter. You go over to the PBC, you're not getting a promoter. Like you said, you got to be somebody who gonna promote yourself. And what Floyd gonna get out here? Like I said before, we got pound for pound fighter Terrence Bell Crawford. Like he ain't gonna be doing all of that. Leonard Ellerby, he's a star. He's not gonna do that with Bud Crawford. You know what I mean? So Eddie Hearn to get out here on the front line talking this talk. You know, a young active promoter with a big $1 billion backing. You know what I'm
Yeah, but
saying?
we've seen that $1 billion backing that these PBC dudes can't take that money. They can't touch. They can't even
They can't
entertain
touch
taking that money. You know what I'm saying?
it. This war between this pay-per-view and app stuff, man. And these big
Yeah,
fights not happening. But I don't know. It's just he in a certain spot where that kind of personality to promote himself like that. Um, but as long as he got a good matchmaker and he's able to get in front of a lot of people that can view him and he do his thing, I think that, Bud Crawford, it's only up. So it's only up from there. So as long as he don't lose access to the big stage, because ESPN was a big platform,
yeah, but they kept
you
trying to
know.
force Bud Crawford
So
on ESPN pay-per-view, which I didn't understand. Like, why you keep trying to force this dude on pay-per-view? People don't even know who he is. Like, just make this man fight on ESPN, regular ESPN. Why you like? I don't understand. Like, I was amazed because I didn't know. I didn't know that when you have like when people are starting to fight on ESPN, you still have to buy pay-per-view. Like even if you have ESPN Plus, you still have to buy a pay-per-view to get certain fights. I thought like if you get ESPN Plus, you get everything. And
Yeah,
oh my,
that's where they get you, Iron Kong.
you still have to buy pay-per-view, right? Which is I didn't understand. I didn't understand that, right? Which is why I think the zone for boxing, I should say, is a better deal than ESPN Plus because the zone is saying, look, you pay $100 a year, and you can get these fights, but they can only get them fights if fighters in America actually take their money and fight. They're not taking the money, and as such, people are not really
right. Who
doing that.
knew who knew these dudes was gonna turn down
Exactly.
life changing millions? Like who knew these guys was gonna turn down millions of dollars? Who knew that?
This the zone thing exposed a lot of things, Black. That some people can't take this money. They can't. They don't care
Right.
what's they cannot. They don't run their own life. It exposed a lot of things.
Exactly. So
We didn't know.
any normal person in life, like what? How 7 million? Heck yeah, I'm fighting tomorrow,
That's right.
but not
That's right.
them.
Let me see. AOBs, you want to see Bud fight Porter, Thurman, and Spence. PBC is the only solution. I want to see Bud fight Errol Spence. I don't need to see him fight Porter. I don't need to see him fight. I need Bud. Terrence Crawford need to go over there and fight in a unification immediately. And if Pacquiao is still in any deal with them. Lisa Bale says the Zone USA is unfortunately isn't resonating with fans. I have the Zone, I like it, but that's just me. I agree. The problem is the Zone doesn't have the rights to other sports in America. I think they're waiting around for the opportunity, but they start to hedge their bets on boxing, which is not even maybe the third most popular sport in America. It's what the fifth or sixth most popular sport in America, and boxing is fraught with BS. So
It
that's my
seems like
opinion.
Eddie. I was thinking about something. It seems like Eddie Hearn tries to appeal more to the diehard fans, the real boxing fans, instead of like the casuals.
I think he
What about
thinks America is like England, where people where people like follow boxing tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No,
I think he got his first taste of, it was not that when, he did that live where he went down and New York Street or whatever, and he was asking people who fighters were, and they were like, I don't know. So I don't know. He kind of exploited that to AJ's favor, but at the same time, you're right. Eddie Hearn, when he first came over, at least he didn't really understand how the whole America market worked for sports.
I agree. I think Yeah, America don't like him, I'm assuming. I think these people on the other side had a lot to do with the way Eddie Hearn is perceived, because these people have a way of destroying your reputation, and unfortunately have the ears and eyes of a lot of different people. Um, I keep seeing people say Eddie Hearn is a snake, and I'm like, I have never heard any fighter say Eddie Hearn has shorted them money, has not paid them. All the money he ever promised these people, he has paid them. Nobody has ever said Eddie Hearn has done anything snake-like to them. But that's the narrative that has been put out there, that Eddie Hearn is this wrong guy and don't this Eddie Hearn this. That's why I think he got fed up with Jamal Charlo when Jamal Charlo was like, I didn't get no offer from Hearn, and Hearn was like, what? Let me show you. Let me show you this email that I sent to Mr. Jamal Charlo, Lions Only Promotions, of $7 million. And he was like,
Yep.
I don't like people calling me a liar. Don't call me a liar. I think he got tired of it. Don't call me a liar. Don't do that.
Yeah, he said what lying only promotions out here lying. So yeah, shout out to Eddie Hearn. Always got the receipts, man. That's
Yeah,
why
I
we
think he
respect
got
him.
pissed off at that. Marty Machine said it's not a guarantee that he'll get Spence if he's signed with PBC. Garros didn't get tackled. Exactly. That's a
That's a
problem.
fact. That's a fact.
There's no guarantee he's gonna get Spence. Spence is the man at PBC, and it's no guarantee because they brought Spence from what prospect all the way up to where he is now. They don't have the same affinity for Terence Crawford. They don't have it, and I don't think they even trust that that Errol Spence will fight. Will beat Terence Crawford. They don't 100% trust that.
Hell no, especially not now. They like shit, man. It's knocked out Brooke.
Yeah, this next fight's going to be a real. I guess it's going to be like a chess move for the welterweight division, just because you want to see how Spence looks, and if he is back to his regular form, then everything kind of just gets shook back up. But I don't know. You have a lot of talk of Spence wanting to move up, and possibly like in the next 2 years get a Canelo fight or something. So it's going to be interesting if that does transpire, and what Crawford decides to do.
Right.
Yeah, man, for real.
Isabel says, but it would be at the bottom of the totem pole, and time isn't on his side. Plus,
Yeah,
right. If he went to PBC,
making a lot of money at Top Rank. He's making good money at Top Rank, and
good money.
making good money there. So we're gonna see which is more, because if Eddie Hearn courts him, he's gonna throw money at Terence Crawford.
Money at him, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
He not trying to downgrade. He's not trying to go to PBC and get less than what he was getting at Top Rank. Like, is PBC gonna pay him that? Like, he gonna get money like that over there? And then he got to rely on pay-per-views and all that. Like, come on now.
We'll see. Because sorry, Sporting, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just kind of adding, like, like you guys were saying, like PBC kind of it's more for like established fighters as far as like their popularity. So I don't know how that would work for them.
The paper, it's weird, because I would think the Zone would be a better option for America, because the pay-per-view market in America is not great. Like, for boxing, I should say, it's not great. UFC does good numbers, but boxing pay-per-views are, you know what I'm saying? It's a bit wishy-washy. It's a bit wishy-washy. So you would think PBC would be quick to throw in a Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence as soon as possible, if they can get Terence Crawford. You would think so. As soon as possible, so they can do a big pay-per-view. But coming off of this pandemic where things are low and money's not really there, are they going to be willing to give Terence Crawford a big offer at this time, like signing people?
Yeah, that's a really good point. And also, I mean, Crawford just made $4 million this past Saturday during the pandemic, so he's not exactly getting robbed here.
Right, he's not getting robbed. He's not getting them fights.
Yeah, he's still comfortable. He's just like, hey, I'm about to make a move.
Yeah,
I agree. Iron Kong, I have to run to the store, bud. I really appreciate you having me on.
Man, I appreciate it.
Great conversation, great topics, bud.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, man. You have a nice day.
Shout out Sporting Advantage.
Yeah, peace, Black.
Yeah, man, peace. Black, anything from you, man, before I shut this down?
Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Iron Cone, one of the best channels right here on YouTube. Make sure y'all hit that bell icon. And shout out to all the major support for Demetrius Andrade, man. You know, he just emailed me earlier and told me to tell y'all that it's much appreciated. And he said, like he said before, it's me again. Thank you for having me on, man.
Peace, 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 bro. Yeah, man. I want to tell everybody thanks for coming on, and spending some time with me. It was my break time, and I appreciate y'all just giving me a couple of minutes of y'all time. So I appreciate my brother Smoke who had to drop off early. Black Sporting Advantage. Make sure y'all tune in to Sporting Advantage channel, the UGC's channel, Black Horseman Promotions. Peace to the people in the chat, Madden Machine, Lisa Bales, Aob's brother Shah, that guy. Who else is here? Aob's. I said Aob's before. Quite a few people came through here. 1-2 Kid came through. Tahaka Tassetti, my guy. Everybody who came through and gave me some time. Mr. Jones, Smoking Joe, Prince Charles D. You ain't come back, but that's all right, bro. Next time I'll catch you. All right, y'all have a nice day. Peace and power. Y'all be safe in America, man, because I realize y'all having some issues getting this dude out of y'all White House. But y'all be safe in America. All right? Peace.